friends, how's everyone doing today? Welcome, I'm Sheree, and I'm here to do a flip through of this 3 signature journal made from a vintage / antique book. I think this is one of the ones I wasn't sure how old it was. But anyway, let's get started. So yeah, I'm just finishing up these journals this week. So I'm going to, as I finish them up, I'll come on and do a little video. And when I do the video, it will be in my shop. So this one is made from this cover where I kept this nice wide spine. It's a William Shakespeare book. So it has just a pretty cover as far as it has like some embossing here around, and I added this little metal piece. I added the gold trim, 3 signatures, and gold trim on the back, and it's a green, pretty much I would say it's green cover. I try to describe the colors as best as I can. This is like a, I would say hunter green, so like a darker green. I never know, sometimes somebody will say the color of something on their channel and I'll be like, oh, it doesn't look that color. So, sometimes I say the color just to make sure the color in case it's not coming through in the true color through the camera or your TV or whatever you're watching on. So as we open up here, I'm going to tell you that all the journals have similar things, but they're not the same. So when you see something in here, like a pocket, they don't all have pockets, but I'll tell you the things that they all have. So like this one has this library pocket that we already talked about, and we put it in together actually on, I think the 2nd video, maybe the 3rd video. But anyway, here's what we added, and I think I decorated this one on video too a little bit, not the whole thing, but I added this tag that is made from, this is a Tim Holtz paper here, just over some file folder, cardstock, This was a tag that I made into this pocket and sewed it together and added this little Tim Holtz paper doll. And so, if you watched the 1st and 2nd video, I think there's 3 videos before the flip throughs, you will know that I added a tag here and used Tim Holtz people, and you'll know the things that I used in here pretty much because that's what I was showing you. This is a piece of cardstock here that I added that looks so perfect with this cover, and you can see the fabric here that I used on the inside. This is an old piece of I don't know if it's vintage or not, but I got it from a thrift store, and I just they were fabric, or upholstery samples. So I got little rectangles that they used to have in books, I guess. And they weren't in a book, but they were loose at the thrift store. So everything in here, there's no digitals in here. If I run across one that I use, I'll tell you. But I think everything's either scrapbook paper or my coffee dye paper and things I've picked up at thrift stores. Except for like Tim Holtz, but I bought those new, of course. I never found those at a thrift store. If you did, you're very lucky. But yeah, so this is scrapbook paper. All the scrapbook papers, when I first got this scrapbook paper, I coffee dyed. It was like one of those really thick, like inch thick, probably 100 pages from Hobby Lobby. They have those really thick, scrapbook paper, 12 by 12 pads, and I coffee dyed the whole thing because I just thought I love the paper, and it's kind of vintagey looking, and I thought this would, and it's white on the back, so I was like, this would be perfect coffee dyed, so I just did the whole thing. So all of this is coffee dyed on the back. Here's a little decoration. We did this one together in the decorating video. So here is, this is a journaling card, but it's made from an envelope, and added this little decoration here, this picture this is from a yearbook, this picture right here. Isn't it cute? And so this is where I did a video where I made envelopes into journaling cards. And so if you wanted to, this one's a card. Okay, I'm lying to you. I did some envelopes, so if you get an envelope, there might be some in this one or the other journals. My point was, I was going to say you could slit the end and then have a pocket, but this is actually a card, or it opens up so you can journal inside. So you got lots of journaling space there. And then this is a book page tag. And it's got piano roll paper on the back. There's some of the words that were on the piano roll. It's stitched around. I've got like zigzag and I go into straight stitching. I like to do that sometimes. I use, different stitches going around. So this is fabric that I got at thrift stores. A little decoration there. That is from, not sure what that's from. Anyway, lots of fun decorations on that. And then this is fabric over cardstock. And you can see the stitching actually better on the back. I use this little pretty little stitch on there on this one. And so you can write on the back. You can turn this into, like, glue it here, here, and here and make it into a tuck spot. Lots of things you can do with these things. You can add something on here if you want to put a little decoration, like a Tim Holtz person, or, maybe you have something in your stash that you want to put on there. This is a page from a children's storybook. And this particular vintage storybook, children's bedtime storybook, I believe it was, had some tape on the pages, not from me, but from the previous, I don't know, wherever it was, person, school, library, wherever it was. But I left the tape on there, so eventually it might turn brown for you if you like that, but there is some tape on there, not from me. They were, I believe, reinforcing where it went into, where it joined on the spine. And so you'll see it, that's where you will see it. Some primary writing paper. Children's readers, an old page from an old children's reader. This is some kind of there was some kind of diagram on here, so you can see a little bit of it there, but it's also coffee dyed. This is, I think it's called dot matrix paper, or it has the, tracks that used to go on the computer. Got a little Tim Holtz decorating here with some pieces. And in here is a score sheet. And has all the little lines and squares you can write on, a tag, and this has coffee dyed paper on the back. It's sewn around, and I've got a lot of my handmade ephemera in here, so I'm not going to say that I made this every time. You'll just know. You'll just know I made it. Whatever it is, I made it, so I'm not going to say I made that every time. This is a little booklet, and it's got a scrapbook paper cover. There, pretty. I like to make those out of scraps, so if I have the right shape, those are fun to make out of scraps. This is a page from a planner, coffee dyed. All the papers in here are pretty much coffee dyed, so you'll be able to see if they have this like brown tint to them, that they are coffee dyed. This is just some note paper, just some plain paper. Okay, this is some. You'll have to feel it if you get this. It's not regular paper, but it's a really neat feeling paper. Even though it's, a solid piece, it's not copy paper. It's some kind of neat paper that I found somewhere along in my thrifting travels. So this is music here, and all the strings I just tied a little bow, so those can be easily pulled and untied if you wanted to add something. I have a cluster here, made from several different like doily pieces. Little vintage button in the middle there. And then this is the back half of this first signature, so I'll go a little quicker since you've seen the papers, unless there's a pocket or something. So I tried to use the fabric scraps from the fabric that I used on each journal to make a pocket on each one. So before I sewed the signatures in, I sewed a little pocket into each journal from the fabric I used on that journal. Here's a little journaling card. That's peaches. And then here's the back half of that dot matrix paper. I've got a key in here, found at a thrift store. I thought those were fun. You can do something with that, make a bookmark or something. Oh, and this little piece right here is a little tag that I glued on here, and it's actually a little pocket too. So it's a pocket on a pocket, and I put two little tags in there. Oh, and it's actually a belly band too. It goes through. See that? See how it's coming out the bottom? Yeah, it's a belly band. And then here's a piece of paper from an engagement calendar. Engagements. So that's where you write down all your things you're doing. I like a little planner page. Fun. I like the look of it. And then this little piece of stationery. There. I might put more than one of these in here. We'll see as we go through. And then on here I have an envelope. So I had some envelopes. I think this is one that somebody sent me a long time ago in Happy Mail. So I did not make this one, but someone sent this to me in Happy Mail. And I still have them. I was like, oh my goodness, I have to use these. I don't know what I'm waiting for. So it's a cute little envelope. And you saw the stitching. And then in here I put some of my homemade, I'm going to call them homemade, I've been calling them homemade stationery, because I just used plain papers that I had and put stickers on them and decorated them with some stickers. So now they're stationery. They were stationery before, right? They're more like a stationery that has a decoration on it, you know, that you buy at the store, but these are stickers, and they're fun stickers. So those are in there. If I can get them back in there, that would be nice. Well, oh, that was folded. Hello. No wonder I can't get it back in there. I will figure it out. Don't worry. Okay, and I had that right here, I think. And with a little paper clip. So, old page from an old reader. Love the colors on that. I showed you that in another video. And then this is that primary writing paper. The page from the children's bedtime storybook with the tape on it. And then this is the last page of this signature. And I've got this big kind of tag on here that you can write on. It says smile every day right there. And then in here I have seam binding. Well, this says quilt binding. You know, the paper that wraps around, like seam binding and rickrack and all that. That's what this is. And I stretched it out and laminated it and made a bookmark out of it, or whatever you want it to be. It could be a tuck spot or something, but it is laminated on both sides. And I was kind of just playing around, and this is the only one I made so far, but I think it's really cute and a good way to preserve that type of little papery thing. And this is a sewing card from one of my sewing books or something. I don't know, it's really cute. It's probably from, I'm going to guess, 70s. So, vintage sewing type card. And then this is a divider card, like you would use it like in your index, 4x6 index cards. And I just put this pretty scrapbook paper on the side, and you could write on the back, or you could make it into a pocket or something, whatever you want to do. So that is in there. So on to the second signature. Here's the scrapbook paper I used on this one. And I got a little decoration there on the pocket. And in here I have, this is made from the cover of a coloring book that I had bought with some, you know, little fibers there for the topper. And I've got a little label there you can write on the back. So I love the colors in that. This is a card that I made from just strips of scrapbook paper that was probably scraps. And you could put like a focal point on here and actually make this into a card if you wanted, or just, you could even glue it down on a page and or make a pocket behind it. Just, you know, all the things, just use your imagination. This is a little tag made from, this was a vintage Smokey the Bear comic book. So there's Smokey the Bear right there. Well, I thought this was really neat when I found it amongst my husband's Cub Scout stuff that he was kind of getting rid of. And I thought, this is so cool, Smokey the Bear. I mean, you don't hear about Smokey the Bear really anymore, do you? And that used to be a thing that you heard about a lot. I think they even did, I think he even had commercials, didn't he? I'm not sure, I don't remember now. But maybe you heard about him in school or whatever, but you don't hear about Smokey the Bear anymore, I don't think. Right? Kids, you know, young kids that are in elementary school do they come home talking about Smokey the Bear? I don't know, but I haven't heard his name in a while, so I thought that was cute. This is from a children's dictionary. Pretty picture there. There's some words. This is some cardstock that I had coffee dyed. It's like, yeah, just, You'll see there's another side of it too. This is another piece that I guess I put both these pieces in here. Another seam binding wrapper packaging, you know, that I actually laminated. And I put it in here as a pocket because this was the size of it in my stash. And I thought it would be a cute pocket. So it is glued in here, you know, in the pockets right here. And in there I put a little, this is an index card that I made into like a journaling card. It has a little tab here that you can use for the pulling it out of the pocket. The backing here, this paper is from a calendar. And then this is some grid paper. It's very light, so you might not be able to see it in the camera, but it's light blue grid, and it's a bigger square. And then this is some copy dyed paper with a inchy charm right here. It says star on it. Some lined paper. And then the, oh, I don't have anything in this pocket. Let me grab something real quick. Hold on. I'll take care of that right now. Let's put in here a sewing pattern journal card. We'll put that in there, and you'll be able to decorate this one. I didn't decorate that one. And here's a little scrappy pad. We'll put that in there too. It's got a lot on there, so that'll be fun. You can take it apart and use the pieces or whatever you want to do. Okay, I can't believe I missed one. Wow. And I even went through this like before before the video. I was like, let me go through this real quick. Here's the middle of this signature with the coffee dyed coloring book paper. So this is the back half of that signature, of this signature. We have these pieces, this is wallpaper, journaling card, a little journaling card. I backed it with some, oh, you know what, it had flowers on the back, and I backed it with something to write on. Create your own sunshine. And then here's a little tag made out of scraps. There's some pattern paper, and that's probably from a pattern too, just scrapbook paper, and that's some wallpaper. So a fun tag. Little cluster on this pocket. And now the back half of that signature with those same papers. This is something I put in all the journals. I had these little pages from a photo album, and I had already turned the photo album into something, a journal or whatever I did with it. And so I put a little hinge here, and made these little like pockets. They flip down. So there's a piece of paper, you know, when you have a photo album pocket, you have a little piece of paper in the middle, so you can put a photo on both sides. So I put a tag. Oh, I don't want to untie my bow there. Trying to untie my bow a little bit there. Let me fix that. A little bow on here. Yeah, there we go. But this is a little tag here that can be written on the back from a book that I used a while ago that had these pretty pages. That's a recipe on the bottom there. And then you flip it down, and I put another, let's see if I know you can't see. Let me move it up over here so you can see where I flipped it down. And I have another tag here, a journaling card. Let me pull it out. So you can just reach in there and pull whatever, put whatever you want in there, or pull it back out. So this is a cute little journaling card I had made. These are buttons over some little like black flowers. Cute. So that is in there. And it just flips up like that. Flips up and down like that. So very fun. And the rest of this signature. And here's the last page of this signature, where we have a little cluster here. And then some tags and things. That's a tag, a journaling card, wallpaper, made out of wallpaper, and a little envelope journaling card. That's an actual real stamp on the back there. So, but I think I might have, I wonder if I stamped that. I think I might have, now that I'm thinking about it. I think that's a stamp that I have. And then third signature starts off with this pretty scrapbook paper. You can always decorate or whatever you want to do on the covers, the backs. Sometimes I decorate them, but usually I leave those plain for whatever you want to do. And this journal is kind of almost like a blank journal, except I decorated the pockets and then put, cluster in or whatever. So there's a lot of things in here for you to, play around with. But let me show you how this pocket works. So this pocket is decorated, as you can see, with these pieces here. And what I did was, this was in the pocket. This is a journaling card made out of a book page. Got a little piece there that it's a little snap piece. And that is on there. And you can write on there. That's why I have that blank part there. It's sewn around. And then this is a card. And, oh, I have some little pieces in here. I put these little pieces in each one, too, for you to play around with. Little cardstock pieces with punched out shapes. Like, you can keep these together. See, if you can see through it if you pick it apart. But if you put it with something, then you see the color through. So that's I just put a solid piece with a couple of punch pieces. But let's put those in the pocket, and then we'll put the card, just a vintage card here that you can write in, whatever you want to do with it. But this is a little pocket here on the pocket too. You just push it down. It's like a belly band and goes down into this piece. So yeah, little belly band pocket, I guess. So yeah, we're on the third signature. And we've got some, similar papers, planner paper, primary paper. This is a dictionary paper I showed you in I think the second video. And then the track or dot matrix paper. Here is a tag made from my coloring book and a journaling card. This was actually made from a file folder I found at the thrift store. I thought it was so cool because it looked very retro to me. So that is in there. And this pocket you can decorate. I didn't put anything on this pocket. Dictionary page, music, vintage music. This is another child's dictionary type page. This is actual dictionary, not a child's dictionary. And then the coloring book paper with the little bow. And then the back half of this signature with some, and this looks like, I guess this is dictionary too. Oh, this is the back half, yeah, we already saw that. And then here we have a belly band made out of the same fabric as I used in here. I did that in all the journals. Not necessarily made out of the same fabric though. I did put a belly band in each journal, and in the belly band I have some score sheets from different games. So those are fun. And then here I have clipped, I believe I put one of these, I'm putting one of these in each journal. I think I had enough. Air mount envelopes. These are air mount envelopes I made a long time ago, and I've kind of kept them in my stash. I found a printable actually a long time ago, like years ago, and made these envelopes. So there are printables out there where you can make your own. I think I found this one on Pinterest, but there's probably, I don't know if this one's still on Pinterest because, like I said, years ago. But you can probably find them on Etsy and too, printable air mount envelopes. And then there's a piece of stationery in here. I don't know which way that goes, but the flowers. So that is in there. And then it was clipped right here. And let's see, look at those back where they go. And pocket here with some, this is another piece of my homemade stationery, little tag type sticker there. I don't think that's a sticker actually. Or maybe it is, I'm not sure. It's cute though. It's like a little sewing pattern lady almost. Kind of looks like a little sewing pattern lady. And a little collage down here. These are actually pieces from my bits basket. If you saw, if you've seen my videos where I get out my bits basket, I pulled all of these pieces from my bits basket and made a cluster here. This blue tag is actually from something I purchased. It was It's not new, something new I bought, and I kept it, and I thought it was really cute. So there it is now in this journal. Another piece of my homemade stationery. A little sticker on the bottom, and this a little booklet I made out of, these are made from Tim Holtz's little squares that I had bought from his ephemera, different ephemera, a couple years ago. So I made a bunch of those little booklets out of those, and the rest of this signature, and this blueberry. I explained this before, but in case you didn't see that video, this blueberry paper is printed and then I printed it and then I coffee dyed it. So that's the only printable in here. I wanted to use those up. I think that's the last of them that I had. And then, but I think they're really nice and vintagey, and they go well with vintage journals. So book page tag with the piano roll paper. This is these stickers that look like this are from my antiquarian book, sticker book. So they're really, they have a lot of interesting stickers in there. This is a picture from it says David Copperfield there. That is a picture from a Reader's Digest, vintage Reader's Digest I made into a drawing card. And then here's a little writing booklet where I just put some papers on this little scrap that I had. And so there's a lot of writing room on there. Make some lists or whatever you would like to do in there. Oh, and this little piece here. This is from something old. I just don't remember. I've had it in my stash for so long now that I don't remember what I cut it off out of. But I fussy cut this little duck out of something years ago, and I've had it. It was in my bits basket, and I finally used it. So I was kind of like trying to, that's why I only got out a little bit of ephemera. Of course, you know, you have a lot more, but I only got out of a little bit because I wanted to make myself use some of that. So that's what I did. I challenged myself to use things out of the ephemera I got out, and that's what happened. So this is the back library pocket here, decorated. And then we have a brand new library card. This is so thick. I always think it's 2, but it's not. You'll see if you get it. Like, you'll be like, is it 2? And then here is, one time I got a package, and I still have a few of these, and I explained this once before, but I got a package, and out of it fell a bunch of these, like a 10 of these little inspected by 8 little pieces of paper. I was like, oh, I'm keeping those. Those are cute. So I put one right there. I thought that was fun. So anyway, that's it. When you see this video, this will be in my shop. You can see how thick it is. It's nice and chunky. Lots of stuff in there. And I got a little goodie pack here to go with it. So let me show you what's in this one. I pulled out some things that I thought you could use. So I didn't put any trims in there, right? But I put trims with, I'm putting trims with each of the journals. So this is the trim that is with this one, and you can see there's quite a bit there. So you can maybe coffee dye this if you don't like the white color, and put in ruffles or trims or whatever you want. It's kind of a ruffled little, I don't want to undo it, but it's kind of a ruffled, see, very pretty kind of lacy trim that you can use either, you know, on the pages. I wanted to give you enough to put maybe over a couple pages on, you know, on the side as a trim, or you can include it in maybe a cluster or decoration. I mean, not a cluster. You can make clusters. That was one of the things I wanted to say, or maybe even like a tassel or something, or a little decoration for the outside. And then I also put these pieces of lace in here too, for the same reason, that you could make pockets or clusters. Very pretty pieces. And then this is the oldest envelope. I pulled out a few envelopes to put some goodies in for each journal, and this is the oldest one. It actually says 1923 right there. I didn't have any more of these, and it says films developed. So apparently it was film. Someone picked up their film. Maybe their negatives were in here or something. Velvet finish. But the Bauer Studio. in Wisconsin. I thought it was really neat, and this is just the way I received it, with this tattered flap. And so I put it in here just like this, so you could see it's got a little tears on it and stuff, but I just still thought it was really cool. And in here I just put in each one some stamps, some actual, real postage stamps that I've taken off envelopes, and coffee dyed tickets. I think there's 4 in here, and there's going to be 4 in each one for each journal, but it's just some stamps and coffee dyed tickets there. And then this is the coffee dyed. I have a little coffee dyed stash of ephemera, I guess you could say. So this is a coffee dyed index card, a coffee dyed guest check, a coffee dyed timesheet. I've had to fold that to fit it in there. A coffee dyed receipt. And then this is not coffee dyed. This is just naturally aged little recipe. Sheree jelly. So, and that's SHERRY, the wine, not me, not myself. So, anyway, that's it. I hope you enjoyed that one. And as I finish the others, I will come on and do videos for those. I'll be finishing them up this week, and maybe I might do a video. I don't know how many. Like I did this one in one video because it's 3 signatures, and I thought, it would take longer. So the other ones I might be able to get 2 in one video. I don't know, or I might need to do a separate video for each one. I mean, I kind of like to do a separate video for each one because I think they're each special, and I don't want to rush through them, So I hope you enjoyed the making of these journals, and the flip throughs, and just to remind you that this was a challenge. I challenged myself to use up all these book covers during 2024, and technically I have, even if the flip throughs go into 2025, I will have technically finished making them by December 31st. So I didn't think I was going to make it, actually, because when I was making my Christmas journals, I was like, oh, there's no way I'm getting through all those books. But I kind of challenged myself. I never make this many at one time, but I just said, if I'm going to do this, if I'm going to meet my challenge, I'm going to have to make all 5 of these at one time, and so I did. And I didn't know I could do that. So it's good to challenge yourself, because sometimes you realize you can do things that you didn't know you could do. So maybe I'll do this again sometime, make 5 at a time. Maybe it's a new thing. I don't know. We'll see what happens in 2025. But stay tuned for the next flip throughs and my next project. I have some ideas for my next project, and I'll let you know as soon as I decide on one and narrow it down to one, because I have several ideas floating around in my head. And just make sure you're subscribed so you get notifications of my next videos. And I want to thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Have a great day.